Yes, people, welcome back to the Backfire Channel TV. We're here outside St James's Park as Newcastle United beat Manchester City to get through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. And now does that surely make us favourites to get back to Wembley, but this time lift the trophy. You see the City fans behind me, all exiting there saying 1-0 in your cup final. In Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. Well, we might do. Took you quite a while to win it, didn't you? So we'll wait and see how we get on the Champions League, but we're doing alright so far, yeah? I'll tell you what, in this game, unbelievable. Second half. I've never seen such a tale of two halves, to be honest with you. It was unbelievable. First half, let's get that crap out of the way first, and we'll talk loads about the positivity of the second half. But first off, you can see that we made 10 changes. 10 changes Newcastle made. Now, yes, Man City made changes, that wasn't their strongest team, but they could bring on the likes of Foden and things like that. I'm going to stand behind this van, hopefully that blocks out any wind. They could bring changes on. We made changes. Our second half subs obviously made a big difference. But, they're still a very strong side. They had a World Cup winner in Alvarez. They had Grealish out there. They had Ake. They had Guardiola, the new centre-back, the best one in the world apparently now. You know what I mean? Still class. Still loads of money out there. In Newcastle, Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall outclassed Pep Guardiola, outfought them for every single thing they had. Now, like I said, let's just touch over the first half quickly. Poor, sloppy, sluggish, 10 changes were made. You could tell that, there was no fluidity in our play. I thought we were very negative, just passing back. It was like watching England at times. It was sideways, backwards. It wasn't great. It wasn't great the first half. There wasn't much going for us, and there wasn't much about the place. It was very flat. The crowd tried, but the atmosphere on the pitch, everything was a bit dull, a bit like the weather. However, the second half, whatever Eddie Howe said, worked an absolute belter. It worked unbelievable. Bruno came off the bench. He must have been scranning Kinder Eggs the whole time. He came on, his bit of skill, but the main man again, Anthony Gordon, came off the bench, and I think it was his positivity, his energy that transformed everything. It really did. His energy on the pitch, his enthusiasm, it fed off onto the other players. Second half, it was the complete opposite. We're hungry, we're determined, we're going for it, we wanted it. We're giving it our all, we're giving it 10 out of 10. Everyone was closing players down. The crowd were then feeding off that energy. The crowd were getting involved. I mean, we love a tackle, don't we? I've never seen a fan base cheer so much for an interception, but we love it, and that's because we appreciate hard work. It's a hard-working city, hard-working people here, and you can see that. And when that's replicated on the pitch, and Gordon sprints across and slide tackles and it goes out for a throw-in, we cheer that as much as a bloody goal. You know what I mean? We appreciate that graft, that hard work, and that enthusiasm, and that's what we were. That second half, it was a blistering start to the second half. It was unbelievable. We're finally passing the ball forward, moving, we're closing them down, we're giving it. We really came flying out the blocks. And then the goal comes from Isak, who could not miss. Isak slots it home after. It looks like Murphy was going to put it to him, but Isak gets the goal. Unfortunately, he goes off later on, and we had no strikers on the bench. Man City brought on Phil Foden. We couldn't even bring on a striker. So you kind of come at me and say, change team and all that. We made 10 changes, let's remember that. We had Lascelles and Dummett as our centre-back partnership. And in Shearer's ball before the game, people were crapping themselves a little bit. I think, bloody hell, Lascelles and Dummett, you know what I mean? For one, they've hardly played any football. Second of all, they haven't really played for years. Do you know what I mean? But they were unbelievable. Them two were absolutely class. I've got to say, Lascelles was brilliant. How hard Lascelles was fighting, getting stuck in. But Dummett as well, nearly playing the 90 minutes. Had to come off in the end. Shaw comes on for him in added time. But, the performance from them two, the battling from them two was unbelievable. And that wasn't it, though. The shout-out today, it took us a few minutes to get into it, but the shout-out for him is Tino Livramento. Tino Livramento, what a performance. I've been crying out to see these new fullbacks, see the 30-40 million we've spent on them, and we've been wanting to see what we're going to get out of them, and that is exactly what we did get out of them. Them two I was going to say them two. Let's talk about Livramento first. Let's talk about the good first. Tino was exceptional. Absolute 10 out of 10 everywhere. Brilliant going forward, brilliant defensively. Had Jack Grealish in his back pocket. £100 million tucked in them Castore shorts for Tino Livramento. He's a rich man tonight. He's going to go home and empty them pockets. Nay bother, because Grealish is well and truly tucked in there. He pocketed Grealish and he dominated that side, and he was fantastic. I'm telling you, going forward, this bloke has to start. You cannot not be starting Tino Livramento. Surely not. You surely cannot be leaving this bloke on the bench. This lad on the bench. He's very young, leaving this lad on the bench. You cannot be. it's time to move Trippier left back maybe. He's played there for England, played there for Atletico. Listen, it's hard not to surely have Tino on that starting pitch. He was fantastic. I have to say, disappointing Lewis Hall. I've been wanting Lewis Hall to start for a while, and you can see why he hasn't been, because Eddie Howe has been reminding the journalists in the press conference who've been asking where he is, when's he going to play, that he wasn't ready. He's barely played pre-season with Chelsea, and you could tell tonight Lewis Hall just wasn't up to speed. He looked miles off it. He looked a bit shy and a bit nervous, to be honest with you. So hopefully that's just, you know, the occasion for him. He is a Newcastle fan. Hopefully he gets over that, and I'm sure with more coaching from Howe and Tyndall and the rest of them that he can really improve on that. But Hall, I'm not going to slate him too much. Look, he's coming up against Man City. It's a hard debut for him, and at Newcastle under the lights and all that, pissing down. But Livermore on the other side showed how it was done. He was absolutely sensational. And then middle of the park, I thought Tonali wasn't great. I thought, you know, his first touch wasn't that good, but he grew in the game in spells. But again, I think he lacking a bit of sharpness. He was looking at his leg a few times. I'm wary of the wind, but there's people getting in the cars now and everyone's staring at us. Oh, there's that kid from YouTube. Yeah. But so, and then in the other part of the midfield, you know, Joelinton. What a welcome back it was to have Joelinton. Joelinton back on this side. What a miss he is. I'm going to go move over here, people, and hopefully it's a bit of a more tighter environment because the wind is blowing and I don't want this video quality to be absolutely wank. So yeah, Joey was sensational. J7 back in the team, and it shows you again what we missed from him, of how much he brings to the side. His doggedness, you need that. Oh, the lighting's much better. Yeah, I should have been here the whole time. The doggedness from Joelinton, the carrying the ball forward, the breaking up play, you know, we missed that massively, and he was instrumental in our game as well. And then where else did we look across the pitch? Miley made his debut, came off at half time as well. I thought he did okay. Pope was fantastic in goal, really was. Some big saves early on. I think in 0-0 he makes that fantastic save from Alvarez, so that's a big one from him. And then, you know, going forward, we could have snatched it even more. You know, we really could have snatched it even more.
Man.
You enjoying that one,
Why,
son?
aye, man.
You enjoying that one, son?
I'll be enjoying it as much as Pep Guardiola will with his bad back on the bus back to fucking Manchester.
Well, he should have played, didn't he, Pep? He said in his press conference, oh, I might play, me. I might play. I might have to play. Well, you should have played. Make a clean sheet, Pep. You know, he'd roll back in Barcelona here, son. Yeah, the Spanish waffler. He got a yellow card as well.
Oh, he did, aye.
He got booked. Pep got booked. Pep should have been sent to the stands. Have I had any news about who we got in the next round yet? Is the draw straight after this game?
Now, I think,
Draw's happening now, people. So live. So by the time this video goes out, we would have already found out who we get in the next round.
St James's Park double header.
See, it doesn't matter who we get though, does it? We've just knocked out Man City, who were Carabao Cup legends. The legacy of the Carabao Cup with them. What, they won it 4 years in a row. Last year went to the other part of Manchester. This year it's time for Newcastle to get revenge. Get back to Trafalgar Square, get back to Wembley and lift that cup. For me tonight, it was one of those nights where the fans really did carry the team over the line. Makes you very excited for the Champions League nights here. Now PSG this time next week is going to be off the scale. But tonight, Newcastle dug in, took the chance, defended well and deserved the win over Man City. Let me know in the comments, people. I'm going to go off to watch the live draw now of the next round. Subscribe to my channel TV. Let us know what you thought in the comments below and enjoy yourself.